Google Stitch AI killed a $20 billion company. So Google just gave away for free what companies charge thousands of dollars for. On March 19th, 2026, Google dropped a massive update to a tool called Stitch. And within hours, Figma's stock crashed 8%. The next day, it dropped another 4%. That's a 12% crash in 48 hours, over 35% down on the year. Now, let me say that again. Google released a free tool, and a publicly traded company worth billions lost over a tenth of its value in 2 days. This isn't some future prediction. This already happened 3 days ago. Most people have no idea what just changed. So here's what happened. Basically, Google took a tool they'd been quietly building inside Google Labs called Stitch. It was already pretty decent as a design tool. You type what you want, it builds a website or app design for you. But the update they just shipped, well, it turned this thing into something completely different. They added on infinite conversations. So, for example, think of it like a massive digital whiteboard with no edges. You can throw images on it, text, code, screenshots, sketches, whatever you want. And then the AI agents looks at everything on that canvas and designs for you based on all of it. But here's the part that really matters. You don't need to know how to design anymore. You don't need to learn Figma. You don't need to learn Photoshop. You don't even need to write a good prompt. You just talk to Google with its newly added voice mode. You literally talk to the tool like you're talking to a person. You can say, hey, make me a landing page for a fitness app. Make it dark themed. I want big bold text and a sign up button front and center. And it builds it in seconds. You say, actually, show me 3 different color options. Done. You say, make the checkout button bigger and add a testimonial section. Done. Now you say, right, show me what this looks on mobile, and it's all done, right? No code, no design skills, no degree, no $5,000 freelancer or agency, just your voice and a Gmail account for free. That's it, all you need. And there's actually 350 designs that come with this for free each month, so you don't even need a credit card to get started. Now, let me tell you why this matters beyond designers. 3 months ago, in January 2026, a company called Tailwind Labs made the news. Tailwind CSS is one of the most popular tools in web development. It's used by NASA, it's used by Shopify, used by Netflix, GitHub. Even the AI companies themselves use it. Claude's website runs on Tailwind, so does Cursor, so does Grok, for example. And Tailwind's founder, Adam Waffen, had to fire 75% of his engineering team. 3 out of 4 engineers gone. But here's the crazy part. Tailwind wasn't failing. It was more popular than ever. More people were using it than at any point in history. 51% of all CSS developers use Tailwind. 75 million people download it per month. So how do you fire most of your team when your product is the most popular it's ever been? Because AI broke the business model. See, Tailwind makes money by selling premium designed templates and components. Developers used to go to Tailwind, to the website, to read the documents, see the premium stuff, and buy it. It's a very simple funnel. But now, developers just ask ChatGPT or Claude or Stitch or Copilot to write Tailwind code for them. They already knows Tailwind inside and out, so nobody visits the website anymore. Traffic to their documents actually dropped 40% in 2 years. Revenue dropped 80%. Let me say that again. Usage up and revenue down 80%. Adam Waffen said it himself. He said there are about 6 months of runway left. 6 months before the most popular CSS framework in the world would run out of money. He called it the brutal impact AI has had on our business. And someone actually submitted a code update that would make Tailwind's documentation easier for AI to read. Adam rejected it because making it easier for AI to read the documents would send even less traffic to the website, which means even less money, which means the whole thing just dies even faster. Think about that for a second. The users want to make the product better, but making the product kills a business. That's the new reality. That's what AI is doing to software companies right now. Now Google drops Stitch for free and Figma's stock absolutely crashes. Do you see the pattern here? So here's what Stitch actually does that's new. And I'm going to keep this simple because this matters for everyone, not just tech people. The old way to build a website or app design, for example, you hire a designer, they use Figma, it costs you $2,000 to $5,000 for a landing page. It takes 3 to 4 days from the first meeting to the final design. Then you hand it to a developer. They turn the design into code. That takes another few days, maybe a week. So you're looking at a week and about $2,500 minimum for one single page. The new way is that you open up Stitch, you type something. So for example, build me a landing page for an AI coaching business, clean, modern, dark theme, include a hero section, 3 testimonials, pricing table, and a sign up form. You wait about 20 seconds and it gives you 5 different designs. Not 1, 5, all at once, all different layouts, all professional quality, all with real code behind them that actually works. Maybe you pick one that you like, you refine it with your voice. You say, make the header bolder, change the pricing to show monthly and yearly, add a dark blue gradient to the background. Boom. Done in real time as you speak. And then you hit export and you can send that design straight to Figma if you still use it, or you can download the actual HTML and CSS. And from there, you could send it to Google's AI Studio and turn it into a real working app for free as well. Or you could pipe it into, for example, Claude Code or Cursor or Anti-Gravity and have a AI developer finish building it for you in a few hours too. From an idea in your head to a working design with real code in one morning for free. That's not a small upgrade. That's a completely different world that we're living in. Now, here's where I want to talk about something called Design.md, and this is the part that almost nobody's talking about, but it might be the most important thing in the whole update. Design.md is a simple file. It's a text file that captures your entire design system, your colors, your fonts, your spacing, your button styles, everything about your brand looks. You can point at Stitch at any website and it will pull out that website's entire design system and save it as a design.md file. So if you see a website that you love and you're like, I'd quite like to use that, well, you can point Stitch at it, it extracts the design rules, and now every single thing Stitch builds for you follows these same design rules. But here's why that really matters. That file can be read by AI coding tools. So for example, you could take that design.md file, you give it to Claude Code or Cursor, for example, or any coding website, and now that agent knows exactly how your brand is supposed to look. Every page it builds will be consistent. Every button will be the right color. Every font will be the right size. Before this, the biggest problem with AI generated websites was that they looked generic. Everything looked the same because the AI didn't know your brand. It just guessed. Now it doesn't have to guess. You give it the rules and it follows them every single time. This is the difference between AI making you a random website and an AI making you your website. Huge difference right there. And Google built an MCP server for Stitch. MCP stands for Model Context Protocol. It's basically a way for AI tools to talk to each other. So Stitch can now, for example, connect directly to Claude Code, to Cursor, to Google's own Anti-Gravity IDE, to Gemini CLI. And that means that a designer can work in Stitch, export the design, and a developer's AI coding tool can pick it up automatically and start building. No meetings, no handoffs, no emails, no boring Slack messages asking, hey, which shade of blue is this? The AI handles all of it. And I keep saying on this channel, the tools are connecting to each other now. We're past the phrase or the phase where each AI tool was a separate island. Now they're building bridges. And when AI tools can talk to each other, the speed of building things goes from fast to instant. Now, let me tell you about the voice feature too, because this is the part that changes who this tool is for. If you're watching this and you've never designed a website, this is the part that really matters to you. Before Stitch, to use AI design tools, you still had to know what to ask for. You had to know terms like, for example, hero section and responsive layout and UI components. You have to be somewhat technical, not a designer, but at least someone who's been around this stuff. With voice mode on Stitch, the AI interviews you. You don't have to know the terms. You just talk about what you want. For example, I want a page that feels clean and premium, like a luxury brand. And the AI asks you follow-up questions. Do you want images? What's the call to action? How many sections? It's like having a conversation with a designer, except the designer works in seconds and doesn't charge you $150 an hour. Google's Josh Woodward, the VP of Google Labs, actually said AI is a creativity multiplier, helping people explore many ideas quickly. And I think that's exactly right. This isn't replacing creativity, it's removing the technical wall that you stand between having an idea and seeing an idea on a screen. And that wall used to cost like thousands of dollars and weeks of time. Now it costs nothing and takes minutes. Now, let me talk about Figma for a second because I want to be fair. Figma isn't dead. Let me be clear about that. Figma is still the best tool for polishing designs, for team collaboration on complex design systems, for pixel perfect work if you're a professional designer, right? If you're a big team. But for 99% of people, they're probably not going to use Figma anymore because here's the thing, most people aren't that person, right? Most people watching this video, for example, are business owners, freelancers, creators, side hustlers, right? People who need a website or an app design and don't want to spend thousands of dollars or learn a complicated tool or wait a week for it to be done, right? And for those people, Google just made the first 80% of design work free. The first draft, the creative exploration, the initial concepts, that part is now free and instant. And then if you want to finish off the rest, well, you can just do it inside AI Studio or Google Anti-Gravity, right? These things all link together. And the workflow is really going to be like starting Stitch and then you finish in Anti-Gravity or AI Studio. Or, for a lot of people, you could even start and finish in Stitch because you can generate a instant prototype. Now, let's talk about Figma. Figma actually reported a $1.06 billion in revenue in 2025, up 41% year over year. That's real money, but their net losses were $1.25 billion, right? And their stock is down 80% from its post-IPO high. It was trading at nearly $143 at one point. Now it's around $24. Now, Adobe did try to buy Figma for $20 billion in 2023. That deal actually fell apart, and now Google is giving away a tool that does a huge chunk of what Figma does for free, and it appeals to more people than, just professional designers and big teams. Now, that's the story of software right now. The thing that you used to pay for, someone else is giving it away. And that someone else is usually Google or another AI company that's making money in completely different ways and doesn't need to monetize the whole system. Now, here's where I want to talk about what this means for you. And I mean you specifically because this isn't just a tech story, this is an opportunity story. If you run a business and you've been paying a web designer, for example, now you have a tool that can give you professional designs in minutes for free. If you want to go and test this, you can actually go to stitchwithgoogle.com, sign in with your Gmail, type what you want, see what happens. And I'm not saying like fire your designer today, but I'm saying you now have options you didn't have last week, right? If you're a freelance designer as well, this is not the end for you, but it is a massive change. I mean, it can make you more productive, right? And the first draft is no longer what clients are going to pay for. Clients are going to start to show up with stitch generated designs to say, make this better. So your value just shifted from creating from scratch to refining and elevating. That's a different skill. Start building it now. If you're a developer, Stitch plus Design.md plus an MCP connected coding tool is a pipeline that turns a conversation into a working website. That's your new superpower. Learn the pipeline, connect the tools, be the person who can go from idea to deployed website in a single day. That's actually worth quite a lot. I mean, people will pay for speed as well. If you're someone who's been thinking about starting a business, maybe building a product, launching something, the excuses just got thinner, way thinner. You don't need to learn design. You don't need to learn to code. You don't need to raise money to hire a team. You just need an idea and a Gmail account. That's pretty much it. And I keep saying this, and I know some of you are tired of hearing it, but the window is open right now, right? The tools are free or cheap. The knowledge to use them is available, and most people still don't know this stuff exists. That gap between people who know about these tools and people who don't, that's the biggest gap in business right now, and it's growing every single day. Now, here's the part where I want to talk about something that I think a lot of people need to hear. I run something called the AI Profit Forum. It's a community of over 2,600 business owners who are learning how to use AI automation inside their business, right? Comes with step-by-step video tutorials, weekly coaching calls, all my best 30-day roadmaps to really implementing this stuff. We actually got Stitch tutorials and guides inside there. So if you're watching this and thinking, okay, I get it, AI is changing everything, but I don't know exactly where to start, that's exactly what the AI Profit Boardroom is for, right? It's for people who want to stop watching from the sidelines and start actually building with these tools. The link's in the comments and description, or you can go to the AIProfitBoardroom.com. Now, back to the story, because there's a bigger pattern here that I want you to see. Let's zoom out for a second. In January, Tailwind fires 75% of its team. The most popular CSS framework in the world, more popular than ever, revenue down 80%. In February, Figma reports $1.06 billion in revenue, but $1.25 billion in losses, stock down 80% from the high. And in March, Google drops Stitch for free. Figma drops another 12% in 2 years. Stock is now down 35% year on year. You see the pattern? The tools that people used to pay for are becoming free. The companies that sold those tools are getting crushed. And the companies that are making the free tools, they're the biggest, richest companies on earth. Google, Microsoft, Anthropic, Meta. They can afford to give this stuff away because they make money somewhere else. And every time they release a new free tool, a bunch of paid tools become less valuable. This is happening in design right now. It's happening in code already. It's happening in customer support. It's happening in data analysis. It's happening in writing. It's happening everywhere. And the question isn't, will it happen in my industry? The question is when. So this stuff is all changing. This isn't a prediction. It's happening right now. Stitch has evolved a lot since it first came out. And the Tailwind story is actually pretty scary. Adam Wathan, the CEO, said, I feel like an idiot for building this CSS framework that's taken over the world, but I can't figure out how to have it make enough money for 8 people to work on it. Like, how sad is that, right? But it's not a failure story. That's a warning. It's about how fast the economics of software are changing, about how product being great and how you having a great product is no longer enough, right? About how the entire funnel from someone finds your product, someone pays for your product, can be wiped overnight. And the thing is, it's not just software companies that need to worry about this, right? Any business that depends on people coming to a website, reading some content, and then buying something, AI is rerouting that traffic. AI is giving people the answers about the website, right? It's removing the middleman. Now, this is not doom and gloom, it's just reality. And the people who see it early and adapt early are the ones who are going to win in the long run. So here's what I'd say. If you're a business owner, go and try Stitch. If you're a designer, start learning how to add more value to the workflow process. And if you want to actually start implementing this stuff, start going right now. Check out the AI Profit Boardroom, link in the comments description, and you can get my best workflows, templates, tutorials. You can jump on a video coaching call next week we can start making things happen for you. And whoever you are, whatever your situation, stop waiting for the right time, I would say, to start learning AI. The right time was 6 months ago. The second best time is right now. Google just made professional design free. Tailwind proved that even the most popular tools can lose 80% of their revenue overnight. And Figma's stock is down 80% from its high. The world is moving. Are you? I'll see you in the next one. Thanks.